In this video, guys, we're going to look at 7 things you need to be comfortable with to be a great trader. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Right, so these are 7 things that I think you need to be comfortable with to be a great trader. If you want to add some, please feel free. Comment section below. Always interested to hear what you guys have got to say and any value you've got to add to our community, to our little YouTube community. I've also got our sponsor, guys, and the link to them is in the description below while you're down there. All right, so 7 things, let's go. First thing is uncertainty. You're never gonna have certainty in trading. We're so used to a lot of certainty in life. You know, we do this, we get this output, we do that, we do the other. You know, certain professions are more are down that line than not. You know, science, engineering, it's kind of, it is gonna break or isn't gonna break, it is gonna fix it, isn't gonna fix it. You know, there are often things that as we increase the skill set, we increase the certainty in how well we're going to perform at something. And trading isn't really like this. There's always going to be a level of uncertainty, and that's a challenge for a lot of people to be comfortable with. The fact that you can do all the research in the world, you can pick the very best trade, you can do everything, and it's still losing trade. The next one, still a losing trade. The next one, still a losing trade. There's no certainty to it. You have to be comfortable with the fact of uncertainty and the fact that you don't know what's going to happen. You can't, you know, no matter how hard you try, you can't make the markets a certain output. And even, you know, some of the superb traders who have been around, you know, decades and decades and decades, even they, you know, they go through periods of drawdown. We had Paul Tudor Jones, and watching a video on him, he went out to seek some kind of help because his performance was poor for a while. And this is a man who's made an awful lot of money in the markets or massive different conditions. The uncertainty is still there, and it comes down to just being able to embrace that. Second thing, guys, is risk. Goes without saying, but I see a lot of traders who just don't want to take risk, and unfortunately, you're going to have to take risk to make money. This is what the game's about. The game's about saying, hey, I'm going to risk X, I want to make 3X, and I want to try and find the best opportunities for that. That's the game in a nutshell. If you're not prepared to risk X, you're never going to make anything. And people who want to risk as little as possible, which is fine, are going to struggle, because the real gains that you get in your account are when you really start to take on more risk. You start to become more comfortable with taking risk on. So the great traders have to become comfortable with taking risks. The third thing is sitting on hands. This is against human nature. We think that if the harder we work, the more time we put in the screens, the more trades we do, the more money we're going to make. It doesn't work like that. We're rewarded for taking risk. We're not rewarded for actually placing a trade. There's a subtle distinction. Taking risk is where the reward comes from, the right deals, the right trades. Placing trades mindlessly without any strategy is a path to the poorhouse, for want of a better word, because you are just constantly transacting and you're just taking trades that are substandard. So we have to be comfortable, guys, with being able to sit on our hands and know there's no opportunity. I'm not risking my hard-earned capital until I see an opportunity. And even then, I know that it might not work for me, but I'm very, very sure that I do not want to risk something. Why would I want to risk all the money that you've made on something just on a whim? It doesn't make any sense. You know, you have to be very, very mindful about where you're trading, and that's when sitting on hands comes in. And the same with running trades. You know, if a trade is working for you, sit on your hands and let that trade run. You have done the hard work. You have taken the initial risk. Now you're probably in profit. You've been rewarded for it. Let the trade reward you for as long as possible. Sitting on hands is one of the best things you can do. One of the things, obviously, Jesse Livermore said a number of times in Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. All right, guys, number 4, slow feedback on progress. So we have to be comfortable with the fact that we don't get instant feedback on our progress. What I mean by this, in most arenas, if you work hard at something, you will get feedback. Let's take an example. Swimming. You try to improve your swimming. You might do some swimming drills. You might do, you know, multiple swimming, or if you're hitting the gym or something, you're going to see that feedback at some point. And it's reasonably quick. Gym's a little bit different. Maybe swimming's not the greatest analogy, but you get the point. The idea is that, you know, a few sessions of practice of swimming, you're going to get better at swimming. You're going to improve. You're going to improve your running. In the gym, you're going to see your fitness improve relatively quickly. Your strength will start to, all these kind of things. Whereas in trading, we don't get instant feedback. You could do weeks of kind of study and research, and it doesn't really come to fruition until later on in your trading career. I don't mean years and years on, but maybe you don't start to see the traction straight away. In fact, maybe you're losing a little bit straight away, but it's the subtle shifts in mindset, it's the subtle shifts in what you're looking for and what you're trading that will eventually turn the wheels, and eventually you'll start to see the returns coming in maybe months down the line, the next quarter, etc., in your P&L. So often it's not an instant change, an instant shift, like if you suddenly mastered some skill like doing a backflip or something, just standing up. That's something that you learn, practice, and then you've got it, and that's it. Whereas trading is slightly different. You've got to be comfortable with the slow feedback on the progress. The fifth thing, guys, unexpected events. You've got to be comfortable with this. It's going to happen. You're going to get caught out on something. I did a video, and it's probably up, if it's not up already, about getting hammered on, or nearly getting hammered very closely on an unexpected event when I was in a trade in my early years. There's been many more similar kind of events. And then when you read some of the books from some of the great traders out there as well, they've all got stories to tell of things that have nearly hit them, and they've got a good outcome from it and a bad outcome from it. So unexpected events are going to happen. It's part of the deal. Have to accept it's going to be there. Number 6 is noise. A lot of noise in trading. Price, people, social media, TV, everything. We can do stuff to minimize it, but we can't get rid of it altogether. There's always going to be noise there, because if we're looking at price, we've got the lower time frames, the higher time frames, this market, that market. You've got to be comfortable with noise and have a strategy to filter out as much noise as possible. The 7th and final thing, guys, is losing. Many traders do not like to lose, and they struggle. You have to become comfortable with losing. You have to become comfortable with spending money out to get money back. So just like a business where you'd have all your costs, you'd have your payroll costs, your premises, your business rates, your utilities, your insurance, your this, you have to pay those to get profits in. Now, trading is slightly differently, but if you look at it from that perspective and go, hey, this is just the cost of doing business. I have to have losers because it helps me find the winners. And the fact is, I'm going to have 2 losers before I get a winner, and that winner is going to make up for 2 losers and more. I don't know when they're going to come, in what order, but that's the strategy. The strategy is lose, win, lose, lose, win, win, lose, lose, lose. And over time, that's going to work out. So they have to be there. And so being comfortable with it and knowing, well, actually, this is part of the process. This is part of, it'd be like you've had tossing a coin. You said, I'm getting frustrated that I'm getting tails all the time. Well, heads is going to come up at some point. It is, unless it's a biased coin, of course. And so it's part of, it's not an unexpected thing. And it's the same with trading. You have to be comfortable with taking losers. And hopefully, if you minimize those losers, they become more comfortable. What we don't want is big, horrible losers. All right, guys, those are 7 things I think you need to be comfortable with to be a great trader. Let me know your thoughts in that comment section below. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.